The exhibition Brutal Congo will be shown at the International Slavery Museum from the 24th of February in Albert Dock. Photographs from Alice Seeley Harris document her several trips to the Congo. The images show the violence and the brutality that happened there under King Leopold's reign back in the 19th century. Rebecca Seeley Harris, the great-granddaughter of Alice, told us about the exhibition.
The exhibition is on the use of photography in human rights. The human rights campaign in the Belgian Congo was one of the very early human rights campaigns, and photography was a very big part in bringing that to the public consciousness, if you like.
The photographs depict the African country under King Leopold's reign.
He'd been trying to make out that he was a benefactor and that he was saving the natives in the Belgian Congo from being slaves, when in fact actually he wasn't a benefactor at all. Mark Twain, famous author, wrote King Leopold's Soliloquy, and in King Leopold's Soliloquy he made a direct reference to the Kodak camera being the incorruptible witness, and that at that time you couldn't Photoshop the pictures. So Alice was setting these pictures up with a white cloth, so you could see that the limb had been amputated, and the injuries that had been sustained, and they were very, very credible evidence that Alice could then bring back to the UK and to Europe.
What pushed Alice to take these pictures?
It was a sort of an amalgamation of lots of different things as to why she became interested in the Congo, and then absolutely determined to go out there rather than just sit in the UK and fight from here. Alice went out to the Belgian Congo with her husband first time in 1898, and she took a Kodak dry plate camera with her, which at the time would have been a very early camera. Still trying to find out who gave her the camera. And the pictures that she took, there were other people taking pictures, but the pictures that she took were very deliberately set up to, I think, provide maximum evidence against King Leopold's regime.
Photographs and human rights campaigns are closely linked, as well as anti-slavery campaigns. Was Alice a pioneer in using these photos to fight against violence?
She was the first woman and the first person to use photography specifically to highlight the abuse and atrocities that were going on in a foreign country. So, yeah, she was a pioneer. And she brought these pictures back, and they were published, and people could actually see, not just be told what was going on in the Congo. Then the photography, without the photography and without those pictures, then they didn't have that evidence, and they didn't have the compelling evidence against King Leopold. So in terms of its importance in human rights campaigns, hugely important, because it was a very, very early example of the use of photography, if not the first of the use of photography in a human rights campaign, and it was very effective in toppling a king. So Kodak versus the king.
What happened to her after she came back from Congo?
They would come back, and I think periodically they would go over to Europe and go over to the US and take their lantern slides and do lantern slide lectures to really sort of push home that people needed to do something. The governments needed to do something about not only the free state of the Congo, but also slavery in general. What they were doing had an impact on a wider anti-slavery campaign in other areas of the world.